What is up YouTube, it is Matty and welcome to this video where we take a look at the resource ring base and how to beat it, or at least how I'm going to show one raid by me, so it's I can talk to you about my thought process throughout it, and it speaks truth about quite a lot of the resource ring bases we're going to see. So I think you can apply a lot of elements from this raid to most bases, and yeah, we're going to take a little look, delve in and see what we can learn from the attack, because it was a pretty good one if I do say so myself, or it seemed to work quite easily. So first thing we'll do is we'll watch the attack and then we'll go back and have a look at break it down a little bit further. While this video is playing, what I wanted to say is there's a few things you need to consider in a ring base like this. So there's not, I mean, a typically open base like this is very friendly for Valkyries. If the Valks can move freely through, they're just going to obliterate things. But what it means is that they're difficult to control. So your kill squad and your start of the raid needs to be all about controlling your or creating a funnel for yourself or for your Valkyries, so that they can go directly into the biggest threats, which at TH10, as we know, are the Inferno towers. So right now on this raid I found an opportunity to kill, to funnel, to kill the clan castle and to kill the queen from just my queen entry point, and from my golem entry point with the wizards I found an opportunity to funnel. What this meant is that when the actual kill squad came, meaning the you know, well, when I say kill squad, the main attack, the Valkyries, they had a direct route straight into that core. There is barely any sort of diverging from that path, and I can just use the rage, the freeze to push them through, and the heal spell to keep them nicely healed as well, so that they're just going to melt through the base. And the idea is that it all sort of comes together, and once they're through they start taking down all the other buildings. There's not that many compartmentalized defenses, so I didn't see a massive opportunity to add hogs in for much value here, just a huge wad of Valks. But what's happened is the base has been absolutely destroyed. I've got a load of Valkyries left, good health on the king, good, well, the queen's looking very good. There was probably the best part of a minute on the timer left as well. So even though I started with, you know, the queen walk and the and taking down the clan castle with her and taking down the enemy queen with her, she did quite a lot, so it was a timely affair. But because Valks are so fast, the actual 3-star happened just amazingly quick, and I had a load of troops left at the end. So let's go into the planning of that. If you guys are still with me and you're willing to watch this part, well then good. Hopefully you, my planning might help you guys think for yourselves if you're not that used to the 3-star at TH10. I am new to it myself, so I'm not trying to preach like I'm you know, I'm the Lord and Saviour here or anything. But anyway, on this base and with most ring bases, you will be able to reach the air defences. Unfortunately, actually, on this one they are embedded a little, so I can't just do a huge walk around the edge of the base. It'll be the healers will die. So I need to break in a layer. So the risk of breaking in a layer is, can I get hit by an Inferno tower? And if you look here, no, on most of the, oh wow, that's Impractical Jokers. I don't think there's any compartment. I mean, this one's slightly questionable down by the wall here, but you can see the Inferno towers are out of range, which means a break-in on any one of these 4 individual compartments isn't going to be an issue, and that allows me to create the funnel. And obviously if you can use healers, aka a queen walk, at the start of the raid, you might be able to sort of converge those healers into your main attack force. So let's just say my queen finished, if she came into this top compartment, she finished by this cannon, and then all my other troops did a single jump entry over the which is the route I chose, over the builder hut. The healers might sort of flip over to the Valkyries, to the king, and follow those guys into the core and then help them out. So there's always a potential that the queen walk can almost converge and help out your main attack force, which is, if healers end up on Valkyries, on the king, on giants, on anything like that, it's going to help. On this occasion it didn't. I didn't know if it would or wouldn't. I just went with the flow. So what you need to try and do at the start is find out a way to create your funnel without the healers dying. So my thought was, if I break in there, I'm going to get a couple of defenses, I'm going to get a few more defenses, I'm going to funnel a couple of layers, I'm going to kill the queen, which was the main reason I chose that block out of the 4, but also look at the clan castle. So there's a potential that I might pull it, you can see, based on the ring. Obviously if I went for the this compartment, I would have achieved the same, but I wouldn't have got the queen kill, which isn't the end of the world with Valkyries. But I wanted the queen kill out of the way, and for some reason I just fancied attacking through this angle. Maybe because the jump was quite small between the corner pieces, you can see. So anyway, I'd identified that that was a way to do 3 tasks. Get rid of the clan castle, which is one of the biggest threats to a Valkyrie raid, because if a golem or a loon or wizards or anything just start hitting the Valks hard, that you'll find that they can die quite quick. So eliminating the CC at the start of a raid is always preferred if you can do it. If you can get a nice easy pull, whether it's with the queen or whether it's with some hogs at the start of the raid, whatever you can do, if you can, do it, because it's definitely worth it. Now, what that meant is that I've got a clear route into the town hall now. So using a jump spell on this occasion straight into the core. If you need to break in a layer, or if you need to use 2 jumps to get in, do it, whatever it takes. I could have got away without using a heal spell on this raid, for example. That would have been the spell I dropped. I'd have kept the rage, the freeze, dropped the heal spell if I needed to use 2 jumps. So don't be afraid of that. Don't worry too much about jumping out. Your Valkyries can break out quite quick, as long as you've got, you know, things like rage and you've kept them alive and that sort of thing. So then I was thinking, right, if I send I've got my route in, if I send Valks and Giants that way, they're just going to start running around the edge of the base, which is the biggest threat of this base layout. So then what I thought is, if I just drop my golem down, got to be careful of the mortar to kill him my wall breakers, and break him in and put wizards behind, what that's going to do is start taking out the layer of defences. So I've got 2 defences going to go down straight away. I've also got a potential next layer of defences that could go down. And thirdly, it's going to create the funnel for me. So again, the start of the raid, if I'm taking down one section with my golem and wizards, and I'm taking down one section with my queen walk, and I've got my final route in for the Valks, then I can get straight into that core. I'm going to have a lot of damage DPS or defense power taken away from the base before I've even sent my Valkyries in. They're going to get straight onto that first Inferno, and it's going to put me into a good chance. I could have dropped the Giants and added more Valkyries in, which is what I'm experimenting with on different attacks at the moment. But what I like about Giants is they're lower troop space than Valks. They've got the same HP, but you can use those to tank the Inferno beam. So I've got compartment 1 destroyed, queen killed, clan castle killed, compartment 2 destroyed. So all that's left now is the main attack. Now you can bring back in hogs if you feel that the base requires it. Or see here, there was risks of giant bombs in front of the archer tower, so I wouldn't have wanted to throw any there. And there's also risk of Teslas being there. I wouldn't, you know, that which will kill the hogs pretty quick. But I thought, because of the layout, my Valks should just blast through the final layer, so I'll be fine. So adjust if you need to. But with my jump spell there, sort of over that build hut with my direct route in, the next part of the raid is thinking, right, I need to get my Giants in to tank for those Inferno beams. So that's what I need to drop first. Give them time to get close, because Valks do move quick. And then you throw the Valkyries in. At which point, how can I help them push through the core? So if Inferno 1 is going to go down with the Valkyries, its beams are being negated by the Giants. Inferno 2, immediately after sort of the Inferno 1's down, Inferno 2 is going to be on them, at which point I generally like to use a freeze spell to just shut it up, stop it from doing its damage, and then rage through. So with a core this tight, it's quite simple. You try and rage as much as you can. So the ideal spot really, I guess, is straight over the middle of that town hall to get the good area coverage. So what I'm thinking is, if I'm tanking Inferno Tower 1 with the Giants, giving my Valks chance to get in, rage spell as soon as they're in the core to just almost explode it gone, because the quicker the threat of those xbows, heroes, Inferno Towers is gone, the longer your Valkyries are going to survive ultimately. So rage spell always helps to eliminate the job quickly. I always think I'd take a rage over a heal, let's put it that way. And if that second Inferno Tower was a single target, I probably wouldn't take a free spell. I'd probably bring a second rage spell. So that's food for thought as well. Or if you need the extra jump spell, then obviously you can drop it for that and keep a rage and a heal. You can adjust. So that's that. And in this case, that was basically the end of the raid for me in terms of troops I could drop. So if we watch it again and take a slightly deeper look, with my queen I knew I had to break her in. So getting the queen to tank those first defences and then wait for the mortar drop before I dropped the wall breakers was key. Didn't want them dying from splash. Same with the golem, but I thought on the golem, if I can drop it down and quickly drop the wall breakers behind it, it won't give the mortar shell chance to get to hit me. But because I had to drop the healers behind the queen, you can see here, golem down and wall breakers immediately down. So I'm breaking in there. I always like to carry a rage for the queen if I need to. So again, taking that rage helped. I didn't expect the CC pull, but if I didn't get it, I'd be sort of planning for it to be early poisons as much as possible if I couldn't get the CC pull. But yeah, the concept reigns true, whether you're using hogs, back-end loons, or whatever. You need to find a way to funnel in, and you want to attack one Inferno Tower at a time. So don't preferably attack dead on to one, so that they both can't hit you at once, pretty much. But you can see how the giants are tanking. Everything's moving through now. Rage spell, it didn't cover the second Inferno, but it would sort of push them through towards it. But the freeze spell will go down soon to catch that second Inferno and all the Teslas, and the heal spells there as well to heal everyone nicely up and give me that chance. The kings ran around the edge, which is fine. The queens broke back out, which is fine again. So the split ended up quite nicely actually on this raid, but you're never going to be able to plan it down to the nth degree. This was a fresh hit, so I had no idea what was going to be in the clan castle or where Teslas were or anything like that. You can make educated guesses that are going to be in the core. But that's the beauty of this raid, because things can happen, go a little bit crazy. You just got to wait and see how it goes and just watch and enjoy, because at this point now I sort of knew that it would be a 3, just based on how many Valkyries I had left and how little defences there were. But it looks like I've melted the base, and the fact is I pretty much did. How come it was so easy? I guess because the base lent itself to being very vulnerable to this sort of attack, because I created the funnel quite well, got the Valks straight in and used Rage Freeze in the core and a heal. They were just going to stay alive as long as I got the timing right, and on this one the timing just clicked. So once again on the giants, make sure you give enough time for them to tank for the Valkyries, get them onto that Inferno, otherwise you might as well just carry full Valks. And there's nothing wrong with carrying full Valkyries, it's just that you get the slight troop space advantage of using 5 hogs to tank Inferno beams instead of 5 Valks, but then you trade that with a lower damage per second. So nothing wrong here with just chucking in 30 troop space extra worth of Valkyries, which is an extra 3 plus a giant, so you might have you'd have probably been okay with that, to be fair. But yeah, notice how I got the giants in to tank those beams and then blast through. I could have dropped the freeze spell down a little bit earlier here, but it didn't matter in the end. There's a lot going on, a lot of spells you have to place at once. So I hope that gives you some sort of thought process behind this base. You can apply this to most ring bases. Typically you're going to want to use a walk. Golems, they don't really have much use in my opinion, unless you're using them for funneling, which in which case obviously on this raid I did, but as part of the main kill squad I'd much prefer giants and Valk heavy raids to just go in and get the job done, and if I need back end loons or hogs I'll take those as well. But in terms of like 2 or 3 golems, nah, pointless for me. Queen Walk proves to be very good value as well, so see if you can always incorporate that into your raid. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.